Statistically, as of 2022, 39% failed the theoretical test in Germany, while 47% failed the practical test in Germany. I got my license. I got my I got my Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing today? I trust you're doing great. I trust you're doing amazing, and I trust you're as happy as I am doing this video right now. Oh my god, guys, I'm over the moon. I'm overjoyed. Well, yeah, we'll come to that later. So if you're a new subscriber, hi. If you're coming around for the first time, hey, my name is Kelechi and I'm a master student living in Germany. I basically share videos around what it's like to be a student in Germany, to be living in Germany generally, and all of that good stuff basically. So if you'd like to know more and you find the videos I make fascinating, be a part of our community by clicking on the subscribe button and on the notification bell. That way, whenever I have a new video, you are instantly notified, okay? And to my darling, wonderful returning subscribers, you guys know, thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence. I appreciate you guys sticking by me. It means the world to me. Thank you. Now, moving into the video proper, guys, you can tell how excited I am. Oh my goodness. Woo! I finally got my license, guys. I got my license. I got my I know some people are wondering, isn't it just a driver's license? Hey, you will not understand. It's not just a driver's license. This is equivalent to a degree certificate in Germany. Hey, God. My eye is so shaky on top of this matter. I know it's going to come as a shocker to many people because I never put it out there. Never. That I was doing my driver's license. So it was like on a low key because I wanted to deal with it alone. I just decided to get it over and done with and eventually come out and share my experience, share my procedure, share the things I learned, share anything that you guys I believe would find helpful for the course of your own driver's license if you are starting out, okay? So I'm going to be dividing this video into 3 parts. The first one would be telling you the real cost, like breaking down the actual costs of doing a driver's license. The second one would be the actual steps, how you would start going about it. And the third and final part of it would be the things that you need to watch out for, things that could, like tips, so to say, mistakes I made that I really wouldn't want you guys to make, or things that I thought about that I felt, okay, this would be worthwhile letting my people know. If I didn't do it, then it would be nice that they do it. Just basically things to, tips to help you. So guys, let's get right into the video. First things first, I posted a video on my socials on the day that I got this license, and a couple of my friends in Nigeria were like, Kilo Shele or Guinea, Kilo Day, it's not just a driver's license, why are you making noise about it? And I just laughed in my head, though I tried to explain to them, but they weren't going to understand. To be honest, getting a driver's license in Germany is a Herculean task. It takes you, for some people, generally the duration should be about a year, but because of financial constraints or logistics and all that, it ends up spilling into 2 years or even more. And according to what I heard, some people even give up and be like, nah, ich kann das nicht schaffen, like I am not interested, I can't do this, okay, for various reasons, all right? Like, the reason why, to be honest, driver's license is overrated in this country, like I said earlier on, it's almost like having a degree. You get me? It's highly respected in this country because, I mean, for you to have a license, you have some form of rep to start with. I don't know how, I don't know why, okay? Now that's one. And secondly, the process is like this cumbersome, this rigorous, because Germans and law and order are like beans and gari. They're like rice and beans, do you understand? They're like bread and butter. They can't take away the law and order from Germany, no. Like, this is who they are, and that's the reason why their system works the way they do. And it is said that, I mean, statistically, the last time I checked, it was about 4% of accidents that happen on German roads on a yearly basis. Okay, I mean, at least that was what I learned when I was doing the first aid course that I did before I started driving. So that's to tell you how careful they want you to be. They want you to be so perfect before they even hand out your license to you. So that's why the process is so rigorous, okay? And also another reason why it's overrated is because most jobs here in Germany require that you have a driver's license. Like, it gives you an edge. For example, those who are working in the health sector, like the nurses or the doctors, they want you to be mobile. They want you to be wherever they want you to be at a certain point of time, okay? Especially like if you're working with like the old people's home and stuff like that and all that. And also some other kinds of jobs like engineers and all of that, they really expect that you have your license, because it's also one of the things that they write in the description. And then if you even tell them that you're doing your license, it gives them hope that, okay, this one is a likely possible candidate. I don't know why, but it is what it is, okay? And then again, the validity of the visa, technically they say it's for life, but then it's renewable every 15 years. I think that's a reasonable length of time for you to have your visa. Plus you can drive, for you to have your what's it called, your license. Plus you can drive round any of the Schengen countries that you could otherwise fly to or take a train to, okay? Plus, who really wants to hop from train to train or jump from bus to bus when they can easily get in their cars and get things done, and more so in the cold weather? Jesus, you don't even want to imagine. It's so frustrating and demotivating to even maybe have to attend an occasion or whatever just because the weather is too cold and you don't want to be jumping buses and all of that. And when you go grocery shopping, having to jack back, see, the good sides outweigh the bad. Yes, it's expensive, but in the long run you would appreciate the fact that you have a driver's license, okay? So guys, I've rambled enough about why it is so hyped in Germany. Now let's go into the real cost of what it is like to get your driver's license, okay? So let me just put this out here first. All the costs that I'll be mentioning here are subject to your city and the region where you find yourself, okay? So this could vary, but I'm just going to give you an average. I'm going to give you an average range, okay? That way this can inform your decision, okay? The first on my list would be the registration and the app. So it would cost somewhere between 200 to 300 euros, or 190 to 300 euros. The next thing would be the first aid course. Now if you're lucky and you are already working in a company or in your school, they could be offering Esther Hilfer, that's what it's called, first aid. They could be offering the Esther Hilfer course in your school or in your place of work, and it would do you a world of good to actually sign up for it and get it. It's free of charge when you get to do it with your school or with your company if you're working. But if you wait up until this time to do it, you would be spending somewhere between 40 to 50 euros or even above. It really depends, like I said. Now the next on my list is the theory exam. So the theory exam ranges from 120 euros and above, usually 120 to 150, or could be more. So that's what the theory exam would cost. The next thing you need to know is the hourly rate of your driving classes, okay? Because you pay in hours. Yes. And let it be known that the minimum hours you can drive is like 12 to 20 hours, and this is like for pros who are already like very good in driving. But if you are a novice, or you're the kind of person that when you were wherever you were just driving inside your estate like myself, I thought I could drive, but apparently I was wrong, you get to spend more hours, okay? And you know, keep practicing until you're stronger. So usually an hour will cost somewhere between 50 to 60 euros or even 70 euros, okay? The next thing would be your practical exams. Your practical exams will cost you somewhere between 345 euros and 400 euros or even more, okay? Like I said, depending on where you find yourself. So this is like a rough estimate of what these things could cost you, all right? So that's like in a nutshell what you are likely to spend, okay? Now where you get to spend the most money is in your practical lessons, because like I mentioned earlier on, if you're a novice, you could drive for up to 30 hours and more. If you're not good enough, if your teacher says, I don't think you're good enough, you would drive until he's satisfied. That's the unfortunate part of it. Even if you feel ready and you're telling him, oh, take me to the exams, I want to go to the exams, he has to be sure that you are perfect. He has to be sure that you are satisfied, else you will have to write the exam twice. And that brings me to something else. I want you guys to prepare your mind for something. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. And what does that mean? Prepare to sit for your exams twice at least, but hope to get it at the first instance. Because hey, this is no joke. So many people go into the exams feeling very confident, like, oh, I got this one time and I'm going to get it. It's good to have confidence, especially for the theory parts. you can only, learn the app and everything, because there's an app that's given to you. The app contains 1,000 questions and you need to learn it. And at the end of the day, you're supposed to answer 30 of those questions, preferably without failing anyone. But if you must fail, you're entitled to fail just 10 points. And if for some reason you fail more than that, you're done with that exam. Like, you have to resit the exam. And that's why I said prepare to write the exam twice, but hope to pass it at the first instance. Same goes with your practical exams. Be sure that you are ready. Don't be pressurized into going to write the exams, okay? So be sure that you're ready before you move in for the practical exams. If not, you end up writing it twice if you fail. So that's why I said prepare to write twice, just in case, but hope and believe that you can make it at the first instance. I hope that made sense. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it is what it is. Statistically, as of 2022, 39% failed the theoretical test in Germany, while 47% failed the practical test in Germany. That's to tell you how difficult it can be, okay? So bearing that in mind, just hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, okay? Now, it's also important to note here that your registration covers your mandatory classes. You must have 14 mandatory classes before you can sit for your theory exam, okay? So what that basically means is that you have to attend classes 14 times to learn the 14 topics. Yes, the 14 topics of the driver's license stuff, okay? So technically, your registration fee covers for that if you are starting afresh. But if you're doing an Umschreibung is like translating or transcribing. That means you're giving in your previous license for the German one. So what that just means is that you've already driven in your home country, so you're not going to spend as much money as someone who is starting afresh. Not because you're paying a lesser registration fee, but it's assumed that you pay lesser driving hours because you can already drive previously, okay? But this video is generally for those who are starting afresh, like I did. Okay, guys, the next part I'm going to talk about right now is the actual step, how you go about it. The first step would be to look for a school. According to what I heard, some schools offer lessons in English, some offer in German. So depending on your German strength, I would advise you just take classes in German, because when you go for the driving practical driving exams, the examiner would be seated at the back and he's going to communicate to you in German language. But for the theory, you have the chance of writing it in English language because it's with a computer, okay? You have the option of doing the automatic, the manual, or the combined. Many students like to go for the combined, for those who already know how to drive the manual. But if you're a newbie and you don't know how to drive a manual or automatic, my brother, my sister, I will advise you, go and learn how to drive the automatic, because you will spend so much money trying to get the manual right. You're going to be dealing with shelter, like the stick, you'll be dealing with the traffic, you'll be dealing with everything. Like, I would advise you, respect yourself, respect your pocket, and go for the automatic gearbox. Do yourself a word of good. Trust me, you will not regret it. People are saying, yeah, what if emergency, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you guys, automatic cars are coming back into the system in Germany. The truth is that now they're actually more expensive than manual cars for whatever reason. But I heard that previously the reverse was the case. When they started coming out, they were way cheaper than the manual cars, but now they're more expensive, and that's because it's more sought after. People are gradually switching back to automatic cars from manual cars. So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't be deceived and hear and listen to people who are telling you, oh, do a manual, it's going to be, guy, if you have money you can do it though. But if you don't have money, just respect yourself and go and do automatic. You save yourself headache, stress, money, everything, okay? The next thing you need to do is to go for your first aid training if you don't already have a certificate from your school or from your place of work. So, oh, I also forgot to mention this in the course. You need to do an eye test to be sure that you can drive without wearing glasses, because some people have very bad eyesight and they can't drive without wearing the glasses, okay? Fieldman is where I did mine. There should be Fieldman in lots of cities, so they do theirs free, but there are some people that insist you pay money, but go for the free ones, because why would you pay when you can get it for free, okay? So that is the next step that you're going to take after you're done with your first aid, and you have to take that document, the first aid certificate and your eye test, to your school, and they will submit it to the Führerschein Stelle. That's the the license office, or the license office, and then when they've looked at it, they've confirmed it, and they'll tell you, okay, it is good to go, the students can start, and then you can actually begin going for classes. Even though for some people, I heard that they already begin classes while waiting for the approval to come. Okay, so I waited to get approval before I started going to classes. Or I think so. I'm not sure again how it happened, but they give you an approval, and then you can actually, carry on fully with everything that you want to do, which includes going for classes and revising your app over and over again. Okay, and let me mention, at the point of registration and all that, you would have already been given the password and everything to your app, so it is expected that by now you are getting familiarized with the content of the questions. You have about 1,000 questions, 1,000 or more questions, and you have to know all of them by heart, know all the answers, because you're going to write the theoretical exam of 30 questions that will be taken out of this 1,000 questions, and it's expected that you answer each and every one of them without failing. The most you can fail is 10 points, because it's negative marking, and if you fail more than 10 points, you have to rewrite the exam again. Okay, so that's the next step that you need to be doing, familiarizing yourself with your app. And when you are sure that you are good to go, in the app it says you have successfully passed all the simulation test and you have 100, you can register at your school and tell them that you are ready for your theoretical exams, and then your school registers you. Thereafter, you go write your exams. When you have successfully passed, you can now tell them that you're ready for the practical classes, and then they pair you up with a teacher and you begin to receive appointments from your teacher. So before I forget, you learning your app and you attending your classes can be done simultaneously. Okay, it's even best that way, because during the process of the class you can ask questions that you don't understand in your app. Okay, now the next step would be your actual practical hours. You have to convince your teacher that you can actually do this. Okay, and that just means concentrating, putting your heart to it, putting your mind to it, or else you would drive for hours on ending. They don't care. Like, you have to have your own back. You understand me? So ensure that you put in as much attention as you can. Convince your teacher that you can do this, and when he actually sees that, okay, you are ready, and then he can now book an exam slot for you. And on your exam day, you just need to go there with your passport, your international passport, or your residence permit card. Either of them works best here. Okay, so that's basically the entire step of how to go about it. Next and final thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the things that you need to look out for, tips that could help you. Okay, the first things first that I'm going to say is, if you can, avoid registering in a large city. Why do I say so? Large cities have very little examination spots for students, especially for the practical exams. I don't know why this is so. You can wait for months and months on ending to get just one examination. If you have the opportunity to, please go to a smaller city. They would most likely, the attention will be more for you, because they will not be dealing with so many students per teacher, and then you are sure that when you're ready for your exam, you will not have to start sitting and waiting and begging for an exam date, because that was what happened to me. I was ready, but I was waiting forever, for months, for an exam date. So I wouldn't advise anybody to do that. If you have the chance, please go to a smaller city and get it done. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is, actually mentioned it already previously anyway, but opt for an automatic gearbox, guys. If you're a newbie to driving, like, it doesn't make sense for you to go and start stressing yourself with the whole manual stick and all of that. It is unnecessarily stressful, and dealing with clutch and brake, God forbid. But if you have the money and you feel like, oh, you want to do it, please, by all means, do you. Okay, but this is what I would recommend to anybody who is asking me. There's no need, because like I said, automatic cars are coming out the more. Like, the future is automatic in Germany. Before you know it, it's not just in Germany, in the whole world, before you know it, most of these manual cars will just go extinct. I know they say if you can drive a manual car, you can drive an automatic car, but it's not the other way around. Like, but then who cares? If you have your automatic car, who cares anyway? Now, the next thing I want to tell you guys is to register with a German school. A school owned by a German. Yes. I know what you're thinking. It is what it is. Register with a German school. It gets why. They have more structure. What you see is what you get. The moment you're ready, they're registering you. They're telling you things as it is. There's no hanky-panky. There's no delay. Like I said, they have structure. So if you're registering, please look for a German-owned school. Okay? Don't say I did not tell you. And not just any German school, please. Look for a German school that uses the Führerschein Lernen app. I'm going to put that app here on the screen, guys. If that school is not using this app, run away. Do you know why I said so? I made a mistake of going to a school that wasn't using this app. It was neither a German school nor was it using this app. Now, the issue was that you don't have access to other apps. Like if you're using the Führerschein Lernen app, you have access to 2 major apps that would help you prepare you for these exams, especially the practical exams. And these apps are the Javascam and the Gefahren Lernen app. This Gefahren Lernen app is just like a simulation kind of app where you're actually doing like the virtual driving, okay? And the Javascam is like you get to see the area of your city, how they get to like real driving is like you're watching a recorded film of someone driving around the city roads that you're familiar with, and you're seeing how they're maneuvering the roads, how the traffic looks, you're seeing the signs and everything, you're getting familiar with it. That way when you're going back to your driving classes, you know, the things you're seeing, you're visualizing them and all that. So you can only have access to these 2 apps if you're using the Führerschein Lernen app. So please, guys, don't go to any school that doesn't use the Führerschein Lernen app. Take it from me. Okay? Good. Now, speaking of videos and all that, if you can, not even if you can, do yourself a word of good. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Oh my God, I cannot emphasize this enough. I watched so much YouTube videos, like they were so helpful to me, both for the theory and for the practical, guys. This particular channel, I slept on that channel because the guy had 3 different videos showing the view of my city, like the possible exam routes that the examiner could take. I was sleeping on that guy's channel. And next thing I'm going to advise is, please don't start and stop. Don't do that. Don't like have your last class today and then wait until maybe 3 weeks before you have your next class with your teacher. You forget so many things, or 1 month, you will forget a lot, trust me. And that will mean you repeating a lot of things and spending. Think about your pockets when you're doing this thing. Like, be selfish. Think about your pockets, honestly speaking. Because if not, you will spend so much money. That's the truth of the matter. You spend a lot of money. Now, that being said, even if you have to borrow money to do it and you are sure that you have credit worthiness so that somebody will not start begging for their money back. If you don't have money, in all honesty, because to be honest, even if you save money for it, sometimes it gets to choke you and you don't even have resources to complete it. So if you have to, you know, take a soft loan from someone or even from your credit card just to get it over and done with, it's better for you to pay that loan gradually to the person you borrowed from or to replace it in your credit card than for you to start and stop because of lack of finance. Please don't do that to yourself. Next thing that you need to do is to be patient with yourself. Be patient, because this thing, driver's license in Germany, will test your patience. It will test your intelligence. You will question yourself in so many ways. Trust me. You will ask yourself questions like, don't I have sense? Didn't I graduate from school? Am I dumb? Why is, like, it will stress you the hell out. It will stress you the hell out. So do yourself a word of good and be patient with yourself. Even if you write the exam and you fail, be patient, be calm. Because so many people will tell you their stories. They have written the exam more than once. Some have written twice, 3 times, 4. So many people even give up at the end of the day, but don't give up, okay? You got this. For you to even start it already, you're a strong person. So if you're watching this video and you've already failed and then you're worried that you can't make it, no. A lot of people have failed, but then they got to that. Like a lot of people, if you ask people, did you get to the first trial? No. Second trial, yes. Or third trial, yes. So you're not the only person. Be patient with yourself. Okay? That also leads me to keeping your mouth shut. Don't discuss your preparation with anybody. Be like, you don't owe anybody that explanation or that gist, so to say. Keep it within yourself. Start it. Let it mature. When it's mature, you go for your exam. Go calmly and come back. And before you go for your exams, don't go gisting people or telling people about exams, because they could expect, there's this thing called performance anxiety. You could have that anxiety of passing the exam, and if you don't pass the exam, you remember that you've told these people, when they be like, how was the exam? You'll be like, you failed it. It can be very demoralizing even for you. And then they go like, oh, sorry, you will get it the next time. you really don't want that kind of vibe, to be honest. So it's better for you to lock up. If you go for the exam and fail it, lock up. Nobody knows but you. But if you go for the exam and pass it, you can be like, oh yeah, I passed my exam. Don't feel pressure to discuss it with anybody. Keep it to yourself. Do your thing, except maybe whoever it is that you want to get advice from or get money from. But generally, keep it to yourself. That's just my own opinion, and people taught me, so that's why I am teaching you as well. Okay, now the next and final thing is the budget that you need to have in your mind. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Now that there's the whole crisis, fuel-ish and all that, petrol is expensive, blah blah blah, high cost of life in Germany and all of that, it's a lot of money, but it's worth it at the end of the day. Okay, 3,000 to 4,000 euros and about a year, 2 years of your time. It takes that long. But if you're very smart, very whatever, and then you have the resources to do it in 1 year, by all means, and then you're in a city that can give you a date like with the snap of a finger, by all means get it done in 1 year. But if not, just keep at the back of your mind like a year, 2 years to complete everything. For some, it could even take longer than 2 years. Okay, so guys, I've talked so much. Jesus, I need a drink. So I'm going to be ending this video here. This is all that I thought to share with you. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll be more than glad to answer them. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. And I'm going to be seeing you guys in the next video. Okay, till then, take care. Bye.